Hey guys, welcome back to another scary story video. Tonight's story is called The Girl Who Took a Picture. This story was submitted by a user on Reddit. Let's jump right into it. It was a dark night. After the rain, the dampness of the jungle lingered in the air. The loud drumming of the rain had ceased, and the only sound now was the chirping of the crickets. Michael and Emily were standing at the edge of the thick forest at the opposite end of the deserted island. They had arrived there after a long and tiresome journey by boat. It took them almost 2 days to reach the island because their boat kept getting caught in storms. "Are you sure this is the place, Michael?" Emily asked, looking around nervously. The dense trees and creepers made it seem like the island was watching them. She ran her fingers through her wet hair, feeling the wind brush against her skin. It wasn't cold, but the dampness of the rain-soaked clothes did send shivers down her spine. She could feel her heartbeat thundering in her ears. "Yes, this is the place," Michael replied, pointing to a small clearing ahead. In the center of it was an old wooden cabin. "But why do you think he warned us not to go near this place?" Michael continued, lowering his voice. A few days ago when they told Robert, their friend, about their plan to visit the island, he warned them, "Never look inside that cabin. Those who go in never come back." Emily looked at him, a little scared, but she knew that fear would not help them. Now they had come so far, and going back was not an option. Moreover, the thrill of visiting a haunted place was exciting. Emily liked scary stuff, so with a deep breath, she gathered all her courage and moved towards the cabin, with Michael following behind her. As they neared the cabin, the wind suddenly stopped. The crow that had been cawing loudly till then also suddenly fell silent. The door of the cabin was slightly ajar, revealing a gaping black hole inside. The darkness seemed to be sucking them in. "Do you think we should go inside?" Emily whispered, her voice barely audible above the sound of the wind. Michael nodded. He too was nervous, but he forced himself to appear calm. As they stepped into the cabin, the door slammed shut with a bang, plunging them into total darkness. A shiver ran down Emily's spine. Something was inside the room with them. She could feel it. Hesitantly, Michael struck a matchstick. The feeble flame did little to pierce the gloom. As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he noticed strange symbols drawn on the walls, weird patterns that looked like handprints as if smeared with blood. Then he heard a noise, a soft thud followed by a low moan. Emily screamed, hiding behind Michael. Suddenly, a girl emerged from the shadows. Her hair was disheveled, her white dress torn and dirty. Her eyes were wide and empty, staring directly at them. "Who are you?" Michael asked, his voice shaking. The girl looked at them for a moment without saying a word. She took a step forward, then another, and finally spoke in a voice that sounded like dry leaves rustling in the wind. "You should not have come here." She took a few more steps forward and stopped in front of them. Michael noticed a small camera hanging from her neck. "Who are you? What do you want?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. The girl looked at them again and smiled, a sad, wistful smile that didn't reach her eyes. "I am the one who came to show you your final picture," she said. Then she walked past them, moving towards a corner of the room. She reached out and picked up an old lantern hanging from a nail in the wall. As she turned it on, the room was filled with a warm glow. Michael and Emily gasped. In the sudden brightness, they saw their own bodies reflected in the cabin's mirror, drenched in blood. It was as if they were looking at a scene from a horror movie, except this was real. The girl in the white dress stood between them, smiling sadly. "What does this mean?" Emily whispered, her eyes wide with fear. The girl turned around, and in a voice that was no longer whispering, but clear and strong, she said, "This is what awaits you if you stay here. If you want to leave, leave now." Suddenly the lantern's flame went out, plunging the room into darkness. The girl was gone. Michael and Emily screamed, their voices echoing in the darkness. Then they heard a noise at the door, a dragging sound like someone or something heavy was trying to push its way in. The door creaked open and a cold wind blew through the room, making the hair on Emily's arms stand on end. "Leave," a woman's voice said from outside, her tone chillingly calm. "Leave and I won't hurt you." Michael and Emily looked at each other, terror-stricken. They needed to get out of there. Michael ran to the door and flung it open. As they stumbled out into the darkness, they heard a loud crash inside. The door was shut. They ran as fast as they could, not daring to look back. They ran for what felt like hours, the sound of their own breathing and the pounding of their hearts filling their ears. The trees seemed to be reaching out to grab them, their branches like gnarled fingers. The creepers on the ground snagged at their feet, trying to trip them up. Finally, they reached the shore, the faint light of dawn breaking through the darkness. They collapsed on the beach, gasping for breath. Behind them, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the forest, getting louder with each step. Emily looked back. In the distance, she could see a figure emerging from the trees. It was tall and thin, its face obscured by the darkness. The footsteps grew louder, closer. Emily screamed and turned away, burying her face in her hands. When she dared to look up again, the coast was clear. The sun was rising higher in the sky, painting the clouds in hues of pink and orange. The cabin was nowhere in sight. They had no idea where they were. But as the first rays of sunlight touched their skin, they knew they were safe. Days later, when they told their friends and family about their experience, no one believed them. The island and the cabin were never found, and the girl in the white dress became a haunting memory that they couldn't shake off. Every time Michael looked into a mirror, he saw his own bloody reflection. Every time Emily heard a crow caw, she remembered the girl's empty eyes. They searched for answers, for someone who could explain what they had seen, but no one could help them. The picture in the mirror remained a mystery, a chilling premonition of a fate that might lie ahead. Now, years later, Michael and Emily still live with the haunting memory of that night. The girl who took a picture serves as a constant reminder of the terrifying truth that sometimes the darkest secrets are best left buried. So I'm going to leave that one right here. I hope you guys enjoyed that scary story. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Also, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe because it really helps my channel grow. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. The next night, another team arrived on the island. Their mission, to uncover the mystery of Michael and Emily's disappearance. Among them were David and his sister Anna. As they explored the island, they came across an old library hidden away from the main cabin. It looked ancient and eerie. Anna felt a strange presence watching them. Inside, chained to the wall, was a huge book bound with rusty chains. Above it hung a sign that read, "Do not open this book." But curiosity got the better of them. Anna and David started to examine the book, trying to decipher its contents. Suddenly, Clara appeared, her face pale and drawn. "If this book is opened," she warned in a trembling voice, "the spirit will be set free." David, ignoring her pleas, struggled with the chains, determined to break the seal. Finally, with a loud snap, the chains gave way. The book swung open, revealing pages filled with strange symbols and incantations. As the last chain fell, a cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. A low growl echoed, sending shivers down their spines. Then, as if in answer to the disturbance, a guttural voice boomed through the library. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" Startled, David and Anna stumbled back. Their eyes, wide with terror, searched for the source of the voice. In the flickering light of the fireplace, they saw the shadows of Michael and Emily take shape on the wall. But something was terribly wrong. Their faces were twisted in grotesque snarls, and their eyes glowed with an eerie, otherworldly light. With a suddenness that belied the growling voice, Michael lunged at David, his face contorted in a snarl. Startled, David scrambled back, knocking over a chair in his haste to get away. The cabin began to shake violently. Books tumbled from the shelves, crashing to the floor. Amidst the chaos, the voice boomed again, echoing with power and menace. "You have awakened me. Now I shall claim your souls." Anna, paralyzed with fear, could only watch in horror as Michael and Emily, their eyes blazing with a malevolent light, advanced towards them. The spirit had possessed them, using their bodies as vessels to wreak havoc. With renewed determination, David and Anna raced through the dark corridors of the cabin, desperately seeking an escape. They could hear the spirit's laughter echoing behind them, taunting them, relishing in their fear. As they fled, the spirit's voice grew louder, more menacing. "You cannot escape me. I am here to claim what is mine." Suddenly, David remembered the old well hidden deep within the woods. If they could reach it, they might just be able to escape the spirit's grasp. With a surge of adrenaline, they burst through the front door and into the raging storm. Wind and rain lashed against them as they ran, the spirit's laughter still echoing in their ears. Finally, they stumbled upon the well, its mossy stones slick with rain. With trembling hands, they pulled up the heavy bucket, creating a small opening just big enough for them to squeeze through. As they descended into the darkness, the spirit's voice faded, replaced by the sound of their own pounding hearts. When they finally emerged on the other side, bruised and battered but alive, the first rays of dawn were filtering through the trees. They had escaped the spirit's clutches, but the question lingered. How could they break the curse and set Michael and Emily's souls free? David, Anna, and Clara stood over the corpse on the wooden table. It was then that David noticed something strange. The woman's skin was an unnatural shade of blue. "She was murdered," said Clara, confirming David's suspicions. "But you don't think we should call the police, do you?" Anna suggested, her voice shaking. "And what exactly do you think we're going to tell them?" Clara snapped back. "That a witch kidnapped us, brought us to a cabin in the woods, and sacrificed a woman to some unknown deity? They'd lock us up for that." "I agree," said David, putting his arm around Anna's shoulder, trying to comfort her. "But let's just get out of here. This place gives me the creeps." As they made their way to the door, Clara stopped suddenly. "What about her soul? Do we bring her along with us?" "Her soul?" asked David. "Yeah, she's dead," said Clara, gesturing to the corpse. "Do you want her soul to rest in peace? Or do you want to keep her here suffering?" "Oh, wow," said David, taken aback by Clara's sudden burst of emotion. I didn't know you cared so much about the dead." "Of course I do," replied Clara. "If I didn't, I wouldn't have become a psychic medium." David looked at the corpse and then back at Clara. "All right, you want to contact her soul? Be my guest." He turned and walked toward the door. Suddenly, a dark mist began seeping out from underneath it, coiling around David's legs. He screamed and kicked at it, but the more he struggled, the tighter the mist bound him. "David!" Anna called out, rushing to his aid. She grabbed the mist, trying to pull it off him, but it was no use. It was stuck fast. "Help me!" David cried, his eyes wide with terror. "I'm trying," Anna said, her voice shaking. Then, as if sensing their fear, the mist coalesced into a humanoid shape and a voice echoed through the cabin. "Lost souls, wandering through the night, seeking solace and a guiding light. You stumbled upon this humble abode where secrets lie and shadows erode. But beware, for love can deceive, a haunting melody, a soul to keep." The mist swirled around them, whispering secrets of the dead. Love never escapes, only bleeds. The mist receded, revealing the face of the dead woman. Her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light and a cruel smile twisted her lips. "Who are you?" Anna demanded, stepping closer. "You may call me the Weaver," the woman replied, her voice dripping with malice. "And this island, my sanctuary. I am the guardian of lost love, the keeper of eternal vows. Those who dare to trespass on my domain, their love becomes my own, their souls intertwined in agony and pain." "Why?" Anna asked, confused. "Why?" The Weaver laughed, a sound like nails on a chalkboard. "To feed my power, child. Each stolen soul makes me stronger, more alive. And your friend here," she gestured to Clara with a cruel smile. "She brought you here willingly, eager to become one with me." "What are you talking about?" Clara asked, backing away slowly. "Don't play coy with me, Clara," the Weaver hissed. "I see right through your facade. You've always craved power, sought to control those around you. You thought I was a pawn, a means to an end. But I am the one who holds the cards, the one who deals in hearts and scars. Your soul is mine, Clara, as are the souls of all who enter my sight. Their love becomes my own, their souls entwined in eternal night." With a flick of her wrist, the Weaver unleashed bolts of dark energy, striking Clara and sending her crashing to the ground. "No!" David screamed, rushing to Clara's side. "Don't come any closer," the Weaver warned, her voice echoing with power. "Your love will be the death of us all." Suddenly, the sky outside the cabin turned a deep shade of red, and the wind picked up, howling like a wounded beast. Rain began to fall, not water, but blood. It poured from the sky, staining the ground crimson. "We have to get out of here," David yelled over the din. But when they reached the door, it was blocked by more of the dark mist, and on the wood, glowing in the blood-colored light, were the words, "Love never escapes, only bleeds." The Weaver stood silhouetted against the bloody sky, her laughter echoing through the cabin. "You cannot escape what is meant to be. Love is my domain, and I am its queen. Your souls belong to me, and in this dance we'll eternally entwine." The blood fell harder, the wind screamed louder, and the darkness outside the cabin seemed to reach out, wanting to swallow them whole.